All right, welcome back. This is class number 4 in our 8-week prenatal series, and today is going to be focusing on finding comfort in pregnancy, and most especially on really comforting restorative poses using lots of pillows. So before we get started, grab about 4 pillows from home. So that can be couch cushions, kind of the large ones. I'll show you behind how I have this set up. So we have 4 cushions. If you have any blankets, that's a good one to gather as well. Blocks, and then also a chair. Chair is optional, but we will include that as well in the practice. So go ahead and gather those pieces, and then we will get started by setting up 2 of the cushions or bolsters right on top of each other. And then the third one will go at a bit of an angle here, so making a little slant. And the fourth one, if you have it, if you only have 3, that's fine. But the fourth one, if you have it, put it here about 3/4 of the way down the mat. And then each blanket will be at an angle out from the corner of the cushions. So let me just show you the position of how I'm laying. It might help you get a better idea of what I'm looking for. So basically, you'll sit down, have about a fist width space between the base of the cushion and your low back. And then very slowly, carefully, just slowly lay back, allowing the cushions to support you, and your arms are on the blankets. And if you want a little bit more support for the arms, you can also put a block underneath each hand. So again, these are just options. Your body, varies. Take a moment to get yourself settled here. So today's practice, as I mentioned at the beginning, is intended to be a practice for supporting your body, for really finding comfort in all positions, and giving your body a well-deserved rest. So here we are in our reclined queen's position, as I like to say. I definitely feel like a queen when I'm lying here. And what we're aware of is that we'd really like there to be no effort in our body. So starting from our back and our head, really want to press into the cushion that's behind us, really allowing our body that support. And then when you get to the low back, adjust the pelvis just a little, maybe tucking it under a little bit, seeing if that gives you a little bit more length and a little bit more comfort. Sometimes there could be a bit of low back discomfort, especially in pregnancy or in other conditions as well. And then with the arms, really allow the elbows to scoot back just a little bit, so you can really feel like your forearms and your hands are resting. And then with the legs, we have tucked under the pelvis just a touch. And then the legs, if they're on a bolster, they are spread comfortably. If you want them a little closer, you can do that. If you want them kind of a diagonal, that's up to you. If you don't have a bolster, then you can have your legs straight out, or you can even bring the soles of the feet together in butterfly position. Or the third option is putting the soles of your feet on the earth, knees pressing into each other. So these are all options. I'll also mention that if you are in butterfly, you can also bring the blocks underneath the knees as support. So you have all sorts of variations that we can do. So once you've found the variation that works for you, you can keep in mind that you're not tied to it. You can always adjust, right? This is your body, your practice, and you can adjust as you need. So wherever we are, just allowing your body to settle in this position, allowing your whole self to be supported by the props and the mat below you, by the cushions, by the blankets, the blocks, whatever it is that you have. Allowing any effort to release. And start to bring your awareness to your breath, to the gentle rhythm it creates in your body, to the gentle rise and fall of the belly. Just noticing the breath, not judging it, just noticing. And with your breathing, I want it to be easy for you. So maybe through your nostrils or even your mouth slightly open. Allow it to be comfortable. Allowing your body, with all of its effort, and all of its day that it just went through, giving yourself this time to be, to rest in this supported pose. Just notice that you most likely will have thoughts that come in your mind. That's completely understandable. You know, the point of this kind of restorative meditation is not for you to make your mind blank. That is just about impossible. A part of the point of it is to bring your body into this moment, into your breath. And then as the thoughts that naturally come into your mind, that's okay, just let them in. But instead of focusing on the thought, running after the thought, imagine that it's like a car that's just driving by. So as the thought comes in, just let it go out. Another thought will come in, see it go by. Sometimes the car goes slower, 10 miles an hour. So maybe it's there a little bit longer, but then eventually it goes past your vision, down the street and out of sight. So just allowing those thoughts to come in and out, not judging them, not judging you, just letting them be, letting them pass. And then if you find that certain thoughts keep sticking around for longer, bring awareness to your breath. Bring awareness to this moment, to what your body feels like on the cushion. What does your clothes feel like on your skin? What is the smell in the air in the room you're in? What are the sounds in the room? What's the taste in your mouth? Right, so pick one of the senses, if not all of them, to bring yourself into your body, into this moment. And as you feel yourself sinking deeper into this posture, you have the option to allow yourself on your exhale to exhale with a sigh. Sighing out the day, sighing out the moments. At any point in your practice, you can always exhale with that sigh. It allows you to root into your body a little bit more. Allows you to root into your foundation. It allows you to release what may have been with you earlier. We'll take 3 more rounds of the sigh on your exhale, knowing you can do it anytime. You can make it as loud as you want, if this is your practice. Now let's do one more. Make the sigh as loud as you'd like. Doesn't have to be loud, but just let yourself really release. Beautiful. And we'll take a few more breaths in this position before we transition to another one. And we'll slowly start to bring a little movement back into our body. Wiggling our fingers and toes, maybe rotating our wrists and ankles, extending arms and legs nice and long, like you're just waking up from a nap, refreshed and ready for the rest of the practice. I'll show you 2 options of how to transition out of this position. So one is to move your arms off of the pillows and then allow your elbows and your forearms to press into the earth and use your hands and the strength of your shoulders to sit yourself up. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is to, again, roll your arms off of the blanket and then just bring one arm down, whichever one's the strongest one. In my case, it's the right side. And then press the forearm, elbow into the earth, and then kind of roll to that side and then come on up to sitting. So either way, we're making our way up to a seated position and making our way all the way over into our tabletop position. But we'll bring one block down, bolster down. We'll just have that between our arms and legs. And here we're going to do a few rounds of our cat-cow. So on our inhale, we have a long spine here, getting nice and long. And our exhale, we'll just gently round out the spine, tucking chin and tailbone. And then inhale back to that neutral spine. Exhale, rounding, taking this nice and slowly, being really aware of your body and what it needs right now. We'll do 2 more rounds. Beautiful. Let's come back to neutral. And then we're going to kind of walk our knees out just a little bit, keeping our toes connected. Pull the bolster towards our thighs just a little bit. And then we're going to sink back into child's pose with this pillow bolster here as support, turning your head to one side. So if you know that your knees are a challenge, and if they can get a little cranky, you can bring a blanket in underneath, kind of in between the thighs and the calves, so that when you sink down, you're not going quite as far, and then the knee is not bent as much. So that's just an option if your knees are a little challenged. So here we have our head turned to one side and our arms and we're just allowing our body to sink in, allowing the bolster to really support us, allowing our hips to melt, allowing our low back to release. And if your belly is a little larger, if you need, make space. So moving the pillow away just a little bit. Adjust as you need to for you, wherever you are. And again, this idea of the bolster and the floor below being your support, they're really sinking in, releasing any effort, just sinking down. And we'll keep our body where it is, but turn our head to the center and then turn to the other direction, or so we can give a little relief for our necks, and our opposite cheek is on the bolster. And if at any point this becomes challenging for your feet, just know that you can always raise up a little bit if you need to tuck your toes under to stretch them out a little bit. Always listen to your body and what it needs. And maybe that's not a challenge for you, so you don't need to, but just know it's always available. And you have the option of doing your sigh out with your exhale, 3 rounds if you'd like. And just take about 3 more rounds of breath in this position before shifting to another. So slowly start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. On your next inhale, slowly push your torso up. Moving that one bolster away. And slowly making your way. If you have not already set up your chair, this is a good opportunity to do it. And the way I set it up is I have it so it's up against the wall, so that when you're leaning forward into it, you're not it's not sliding away. But if you're on carpeting, you probably don't have that issue. But that's how I have it set up. So go ahead and set up your chair. I'm gonna get a quick sip of water. I'll be right back. Okay, so what we're going to do with the chair, we're going to do 2 positions. And what you're going to do is face the chair. You have your bolster nearby because we will be using it, but we'll first get our legs situated. So our first one has 2 options. One is that you can do butterfly as an option, and then leaning forward, we'll have the bolster here. Or the other one is that you can get real close and snuggly with the chair if it has the nice long legs, so that the feet come together in a butterfly as well, but just underneath the chair. So either one is available, and then have your bolster right in front of you. So you may have to play around with whichever one feels best for you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just slowly sit up nice and tall on your inhale, and in your exhale, lean forward into the bolster, arm just resting on the chair. And if this doesn't feel incredibly comfortable, another option is that you can have the bolster on the chair itself, and then you're using it like a pillow for your head with your arms wrapped around. So that might vary also depending on if you're doing the regular butterfly or the legs wrapped around. So wherever you are, remember to get the spine nice and long on your inhale, and then your exhale, fold forward, resting into the chair. If your head is on the pillow, turn your head to one side. And if your head is on the bolster and you feel like you want a little bit more of a deeper fold, especially for the low back, you can move the bolster away, and then you can have just your forearms to rest on. Just an option. See what feels best for you and your back and hips. And if your head turned to one side, if the neck is a little tight, go ahead and release the head and turn the other direction. Let's do about 3 more breaths here before we shift. If your forehead is on your arms, go ahead and slowly walk your hands back up the chair, shifting your torso up, moving the bolster away. And then let's slowly bring our legs out in a wide forward fold, just as you need to. So legs are fairly straight here. And then if you can, flex the feet. And then sitting up nice and tall, put your hands behind your hips at first. And then have your fingertips pressing behind you. You're really opening up the chest here. And if you can, even hug the shoulder blades together. Heart presses up to the ceiling, gazing up at the top of the wall in front of you. Kind of opening up the chest a little bit. Beautiful. And slowly bring the torso forward a little bit. And we do the same thing as we did before, but this time with our legs outstretched. So if you already know how you want your bolster, go ahead and adjust, or if you need the bolster at all, if you just want to have your forearms on the chair, that works too. So on your inhale, sitting up nice and tall, and on your exhale, fold forward into the bolster or into your folded hands, folded forearms. Keep in mind that though we're using a chair today, you can also use a couch. You can lean on, this can feel really nice. Kind of a great way to open up the low back. And if you'd like to do a sigh on your next 3 exhales, feel free, just an option. We'll take about 3 more breaths before slowly coming out of this posture. On your next inhale, start to slowly raise the torso up, walking the hands back behind you. And if you can, scoot yourself away from the chair, using your hands as support. And then soles on the floor, out farther than your hips. And we do what we call windshield wiper with the legs. So one leg is bent. Both legs are bent going one direction. And then both legs are bent going the other direction. This should be nice and slow. Really feeling good on your hips, legs. Beautiful. And coming back to center. And then we're going to set up for side lying position, which feels so wonderful. I'm sure plenty of you lie on your side for when you sleep at night, if not the entire night, at least part of it. And what you'll do is you're going to take the bolster that was at an angle and you're going to place it out this direction. Take the other bolster off the one that's over there. And you're going to place that this direction. So we have these 3 bolsters set up. One is for your head, this one's for your arm, and this one's for your leg. So you're going to adjust as you need to, just so you know. Okay. So very carefully using your arms as support, having a blanket nearby in case you need it for underneath one of the spots. Very carefully start to slowly roll down on with your head on that one bolster. And then the bolster that's in the middle, that's for your arm. And then the one that's at the bottom for your underneath your leg. And then if you don't need the blanket for anything, you can open it up and rest it on top of you, getting some of that warm snuggliness. So in this side lying position, just allowing our bodies to rest, adjusting as we need to, really allowing the earth, the bolsters to support us completely. And note if you need to shift your position at all, maybe tucking the tailbone under or even sticking it back just a little bit. Or maybe you need to adjust the bolster to bring it up higher, bending that leg a little more, for the arm, making any changes as you need. And we're just going to settle in to this very restorative, peaceful position. Allowing our body to really sink in, feeling that support. Take a moment to reflect on some of the wonderful things that your body and your heart, your mind have been able to accomplish recently. Having gratitude, taking stock, saying thank you to yourself. Of course, the support that was around you to make it happen. Sometimes we don't take a pause, moment to honor ourselves, to have gratitude for ourselves, for our efforts. Maybe it's something as simple as, waking up at the time you wanted, or making healthy food recently, taking a walk, or a work project, or having a conversation with a dear friend. So many things. Take a moment to thank yourself. If you'd like, you can exhale with a sigh for 3 rounds. We'll take about 3 more rounds of breath before we transition to our next and final posture of our class. So slowly move the middle bolster away and use the left hand to push yourself up. And we're going to go onto the other side. You could just roll over, pull this bolster to the other side and this one to the other, but I'm going to go this direction just for the video, but you can just roll over to that one side. So as a reminder, there's one pillow at the top, and there's 2 more, one in the middle for the arm, and then the other one is parallel with your body for your leg. So getting yourself situated, if you had your blanket, you have to kind of adjust it and then lower onto that pillow for underneath your head. And then the bolster for your arm, and then finally the bolster for that bent leg. You had the blanket, get it all snuggly. Take anything out of your pocket, like I just did. And then here, getting comfortable once again. It'll feel slightly different on one side sometimes. Adjusting your pelvis, adjusting your rib cage. Really allowing the bolsters and the floor to support your body, to hold your body so you can rest. And as we did earlier, we were taking a moment to reflect on ourselves, the gratitude, the efforts. Take a moment for gratitude for the people around us, our family, our community, the growing little one in our belly, just thanking them. You can even go so far as your ancestors, the peoples before us, the peoples yet to come. Having gratitude for the gifts they give, the support they give, even the challenges they bring that help us grow. Cultivating that gratitude. You have the option to sigh out on your exhale for the next 3 rounds of breath, our last one of this practice. Releasing any final things you need. You make the final one loud if you'd like. And then we'll slowly start to bring a little movement back into the body. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Extending your arms and legs nice and long. And using that upper hand to slowly press the earth away. Coming up into a seated position here at the end to close our practice. Let's bring our palms together at heart center. Take a moment for gratitude for ourselves, our family, our community, our ancestors, our descendants, the peoples before us, the people yet to come, for the collaborative effort of everyone. We honor the light in each other and in ourselves by simply saying, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. I hope this practice helped. I hope your body is feeling a little better and supported. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.